We still have a lot of COVID around, and we are going into the winter months. Not exactly sure what this is going to look like, but vaccination is one of the tools that's within your control to try to influence.
So everyone ages 5 and older are now eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine, which is wonderful news. And I know a lot of parents have been waiting for this as well.
This is a Pfizer product, just like is available for adults. Some of the good things are with their tests on kids, they found that 1/3 of the dose was sufficient, and they're also using smaller needles. It's still a 2-dose series, just like for adults with Pfizer.
Mm-hmm. And even better news, during the clinical trials, the vaccine, the pediatric dose, has been found to be more than 90% effective in preventing serious illness, hospitalization. So great news. I did just answer a question from a parent who was concerned about the fact that some children will fall into the 3-week window will fall over the Thanksgiving holiday, where the CVC won't be open, pediatricians' offices, even pharmacies. And they were concerned about their child getting their second dose exactly on that 21-day mark. And the CDC recommends a 42-day window for second doses. So it's perfectly fine to go a little beyond. We recommend getting as close as possible to that 21-day mark, but it's perfectly okay if you have to wait a little longer. The COVID-19 has been from the beginning and is still free. So free to everyone. We have had people who have let us know that if they went to their doctor's office or maybe a pharmacy, that there was some kind of copay because they had insurance. So I would recommend that they always check if it's outside of the Rappahannock Area Health District's health departments or the CVC, that they check as far as it's not the vaccine they're being charged for, it's for the visit. So I just want to make sure people understand that. The CVC is wonderfully located in Central Park. So that location was chosen because we feel it is central to our health district. So many of us go there for various reasons. It's very easy to get to, in and out of, very easy as well. So the CVC, they just modified their hours to accommodate more parents so the kids don't have to come out of school. So they're open on Saturdays and Sundays now. So they're Tuesday through Sunday. They were originally Monday through Saturday, but that change just happened at the end of last week, which is fantastic. Just more accommodation, making it more accessible for everyone. So children age 5 and up are eligible to schedule appointments there. They do have the pediatric vaccine. Scheduling is super easy, very convenient. Again, vaccines.gov is your starting point. And from there, you'll be able to be directed to the CVC scheduling process. You'll choose the pediatric Pfizer dose for your child. If you are going for your first, second, or booster dose, you can get that there as well.
There were over 3,000 kids in the Pfizer trial. Most common side effects are having a sore arm, fatigue, headache, kind of achy. So that's very similar to adults. Are your kids going to be able to go to school the next day? Well, it really depends on how they're feeling. You need to assess that just like you would for yourself. How you're feeling. Do you feel up for it? If you do, fine. And if you don't, well, you might need a day. Absolutely. Being unvaccinated increases your risk for getting infected. Now, the purpose of the vaccines is to reduce the incidence of serious disease, being hospitalized, and dying. Fortunately, those are still rare events in kids, and so that's really good. But still, kids get hospitalized, and there's a special thing that can happen with kids, unfortunately, called multi-inflammatory syndrome. And that can be quite serious in kids. Fortunately, it's very rare, but it can be very serious, and kids can end up on a ventilator, and they unfortunately can die, but it doesn't happen very much. What is a greater concern, I would think, for many parents is the idea of long COVID. I recently saw statistics saying that 7 to 8% of kids have long COVID. And I was really surprised that the number was that high. Long COVID is when you are still having symptoms 4 weeks after you picked up the infection. And as a parent, I think you always want to make sure that your kid that nothing's happening to your kid that has longer term impact. Obviously, with kids in-person school, their exposure to COVID is much greater than if they were like playing with the kids in the neighborhood or smaller groups over the summer. You're in school, you're exposed to a lot of kids. We've had a lot of cases in kids, especially in August and September. Fortunately, it's come down in October, and we're not exactly sure what November is going to look like. While the rates have been coming down, it may continue to come down. We may be starting to go into a plateau. And in Virginia, we're still having some declines. In our district, I'm just looking at my notes here, the district has actually had a slower decline than other areas of Virginia. I'm sorry to say that all of the Rappahannock Area Health District is still at the highest level of community transmission that they flag on their website. Red is the highest level, and red means that you have more than 100 cases per 100,000 population, and or that at least 10% of the PCR tests are coming back positive. And every county in the Rappahannock Area Health District is in that highest level. So getting your kids vaccinated is one step that's under your control to help your household and your school, your friends, your relatives, because the vaccines are a protection against the most serious consequences of COVID. And, remember your mask. I mean, you have these things that are under your control. Vaccines are under your control. Wearing a mask is under your control. Giving yourself a little physical distance from whoever you're talking to, or taking that conversation outdoors. Those are all things that are under your control. And isn't it nice in this world, especially right now, that you have something that's under your control to help keep yourself healthy?